Okay, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking about real music in real time for a few real people that have come over here and just doing it in real time for those people and doing it for you right there and me right here. All right, so Ian Gillan from the amazing band Deep Purple, who, for better or worse, was left behind by the music industry back in the 1990s, of course. They had a period where Jolyn Turner was singing for Deep Purple, and then Ian Gillan comes back, Richie Blackmore leaves, Steve Morse, who has been unheralded as their guitarist for now, what, 30 years or so, a little less than 30 years. And this band has put out amazing material since the 90s, and it's just tragic that they don't get any radio airplay. They don't get a whole lot of recognition. I think their fans, especially in Europe, have really stuck with them, and there may be some radio outlets across the pond that are playing Deep Purple music. Anyway, Ian Gillan believes the thing-demic is finished now. I think it will just fade away this winter. Now, I don't know if he's right or wrong. However, I will observe that this article has no fact-checking. It has no copy and pasting. See, every time a rock star, somebody relevant to the music industry, does an interview, they're examined not by what they say regarding music. They're examined by what their opinions are that are either political or medical. That's what they seem to really care about honing in on. He said, I've got a different view on meet and greets. The rest of the guys do these VIP meet and greets. I'm not really in favor of them myself. I like meeting the ordinary fans, not the wealthy ones. I like this guy. He says, it's a commercial procedure, that element. You've got to learn to live with this thing. He actually said this thing. He continued referring to the thing-demic. I think everyone's heard that said 100 times. Well, Ian, not here in the United States and not in most places around the world. People are not saying that we need to learn to live with this thing. We are just hearing about the fear. We're hearing about exploding numbers, like the number 5 just explodes. No, we're hearing about how, the number of cases, no matter if it goes down, it eventually will go back up. And now we're getting all of the propaganda with the numbers again. The numbers have to come down in order for us to maybe open up for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Your best bet, wear the, the thing on your face. I'm afraid I can't say anything anymore. If we didn't meet people because we think they might have a cold or might have the flu or might have some political views that we don't agree with that might infect us, he says, we have to stop living if we end up like that. And I think he's making a really good point here. I think we're well on our way, because he's making a subtle point that we can't even get along with each other in a practical way. Like, if you don't believe the same things I believe in, then you're just going to continue to attack me until I either quit or go away, like the Eric Clapton thing. Well, he should just retire, right? He should just get out of the way. Ian Gillan should probably pick up the phone and give Eric Clapton a call. I don't think they share maybe the same views, but maybe for encouragement. You know what I mean? To say, hey, I understand what you're saying and what you're going through. No word, by the way, in this article, if the band has been fully thinged or not. Don't know if they've done the thing. He goes on, though, to say, I have to, yeah, sure, meet people, embrace them, shake hands, give them a hug. He says, that's living as far as I'm concerned. He says, I think this thing is finished now in small patches, and I think it will just fade away this winter. I think it's run its course. Like anything else, it's mutated enough times to weaken it. And I think we've got to learn to live with it, as so many people have said. So yeah, let's get on with it, shake hands, and rock and roll. That's Ian Gillan from the amazing band Deep Purple. Their new album, Turning to Crime, and I understand why they named it Turning to Crime, because they stole a bunch of covers, is due out on November 26th. Some pretty good covers that they've done, including Bob Dylan, Fleetwood Mac, Bob Seger, Cream, and the Yardbirds. Cream and the Yardbirds. Carefully chosen by each member of the band. How could they? How could they be covering Cream and the Yardbirds? Do they know? Do they not know? Have they not read Rolling Stone? What's happening with Eric Clapton? What I've noticed about Ian Gillan over the past maybe 15, 20 years is he's become a lot more cantankerous. That's a word I would use a lot these days, cantankerous. A little bit more fed up with what's happening, and watching some videos the band has put out in recent years, you can sense that they've matured in a way which probably isn't favorable to certain media outlets because they have a narrative to put out there. But I like what's being said here. It's not over the top. It's not unreasonable. What's weird is there was no cut and paste rebuttal editing on this article. So maybe they just got lazy. Maybe they're thinking to themselves, look, he's just saying he wants the thing to be over and he thinks it might be over, but we can't allow it to be over. That's the thing. They don't want this to be over. They want to continue to make money off of it. They certainly want to keep the fear going, the seclusion going, the isolation, the uncertainty. I mean, the depression. I guess they just don't care that millions of people are now depressed over this stuff. They don't care. And it's daily. And their only hope, right, is to follow the guidelines. That's all they keep saying, follow the guidelines. And once you hit a brick wall, what do you do at that point? Once you lose a loved one, or once you have this mystery thing happen and you explain it away and you've got a script, well, we can say it's this, or we can say it's that, or we can say it's a coincidence, or a number of different things they've already, it seems, rehearsed ahead of time. Yes, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Put me down. Check the box, right? You know, some conspiracies within just a few months end up being proven true. You just have to wait a little while. So anyway, Ian Gillan, Deep Purple, love the band. Even today, I'm not just into Smoke on the Water, man. Didn't they record that song, Smoke on the Water? Yeah, they did. Richie Blackmore, pretty good riff, pretty amazing song. But they have a few songs that came after that. I mean, I got into Deep Purple in the 1980s, and listening to things like Knocking on Your Back Door, which one of the great songs that is off of radio, and it's just tragic, but that's the way things are these days. We don't want a lot of variety. We don't want critical thinking. See how that all kind of connects? Critical thinking, variety, let's just narrow it down to nothing, and we'll not give people a whole lot of choices because we know what's best for them. See how that works? Anyway, parallels all over the place. I'm babbling. I want to thank all the people who watched the video I did last night. Again, I have a link to the original video I did, and it is over on Rumble. And what was interesting is reading some of the comments and how people don't know how to get to Rumble. And see, this is a big problem. All right, because if things do go south, I'm going to need some folks to come along. And they know that technology for a lot of people is a burden. Like they figure out how to use their phone, or they figure out how to use Roku, or they figure out how to use some crazy technology that, 3 years ago wasn't in style. And they get to that point, they're like, okay, I got here. I'm good. I don't have to go any further. But every few months, it's like changing. Now with these platforms, the backup platforms, I'm also on Odyssey, which I haven't really told people about. It's another platform where every video I do here transfers over to Odyssey. All right. So you can look me up on Odyssey. The problem with Odyssey, the problem with Rumble, and maybe it won't be a problem with Rumble eventually, is there is no revenue stream to be had over there. None. I don't know. Odyssey might be crypto or something down the road. I don't know. But this is why it's important to make a stand and try to hang here for as long as I can. And I'm going to. And my guess is I had a little slip of the tongue there, a little white snake moment. And I, kept it because the rant was just crazy good and I didn't want to lose the rant. I know editing might be a good thing in the future, and maybe I'll put it on the cutting room floor and have someone, mash it up or do something to it where I don't say any bad words. And bad words aren't four-letter words here. Bad words are truthful words here. And that's where you get in trouble, where you use the actual word and not the euphemism. So anyway, again, want to thank all the patrons and just people who are encouraging and understand what's going on. So that's it. Pity party over. Done. Talk to you soon.